Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Apuborama, and in today's video, I'll be breaking into everything you're going to need to know about this upcoming week for Grand Theft Auto Online. We have a nerf on the Cayo Perico heist. 6 times money you can make with your passive businesses, plus some absolutely fantastic discounts. So stay tuned and let's get straight into it. Starting off, let's talk about the nerf to the Cayo Perico heist, as that's why a lot of you probably clicked on the video. To what information I have so far, what we know is that all secondary targets apart from gold will be getting some sort of nerf on their payouts. This is also the same for the Cinsamito Tequila, Bearer Bonds, and Ruby Necklace, all of which will be receiving some sort of nerf on their payouts. This is honestly kind of disappointing, but at the same time understandable. There will be a lot of people mad, but there is still the replay glitch available to anybody that performs in the Cayo Perico heist. And as long as the nerf isn't anything massive, you should still be able to make millions with it. So while I am disappointed, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world, and we should still be making millions upon millions doing the Cayo Perico heist paired with the Dr. Dre VIP missions. Okay, so now that we've talked about the bad news, let's talk about the good news. And this week, it's really good news. You can be making upwards of 6 times the profit with this week's businesses. And that is because you are going to be getting double production on the Biker Club, the Bunker, and nightclub businesses. Now that is insane. So not only are you going to be getting double production on all of the Biker Club's businesses alone, which is normally a single event week, but then you're making double production on the nightclub and the Bunker. Crazy. Make sure that if you don't own these businesses or you don't have them stocked, that this week you start production on them, because you're going to be making boatloads and boatloads of money. But it gets even better. There's also double the crates sourced from Lupe. So that means if you walk into your special cargo warehouse and you pay Lupe, you can literally make double the money on the crates, which again is great. It means if we ever get a double money sale mission week for cargo warehouses, you can be making huge money once again. So just so far, fantastic week for Grand Theft Auto Online when it comes to making money. I would highly recommend to purchase the buildings that will acquire you the double production. And to purchase the buildings this week, they are all 40% off. Yes, you heard that right. The office building, Bunker, nightclub, and Biker Club are all 40% off, and that is including the upgrades on the buildings themselves. So I would highly recommend, if you have not invested in any of the businesses I just listed, that you should get your hands on them, because again, it's 40% off. You are going to be saving millions upon millions of dollars this week if you invest in those properties. So finally, we have this week's cars and the discounts on them. To be honest, there's not much when it comes to cars, which is a bit disappointing. I was hoping Rockstar would have a bunch of cars on sale due to the 10-year anniversary, but yeah, there's not all too much. But oh well, let's talk about what we do have available. Starting off, we have the prize ride, which is the Sentinel Classic. This is a pretty fun car. There's nothing really crazy about it on performance or overall handling, but it's a fun car, and if you like to participate in the LS car meet and the races, then get your hands on it. We also have this week's podium vehicle, the Penumbra FF. Pretty cool JDM. I actually really like the look of this vehicle from the overall design and customization it has going for it. Again, there's nothing really special about it when it comes to top speed or performance, but it's a really good car. Now we break into the 4 discounted vehicles. Starting off, we have the Dubachi 770. This vehicle is 40% off. Normally $700,000, you can get it this week for $400,000. I personally think the Dubachi 770 is one of the nicest looking sports cars in the game. From the front design to just how sleek the car looks and the absolutely fantastic engine sound, I personally believe the 770 is just one of the best cars when it comes to looks and overall sound. Now, performance-wise, it's pretty mediocre in the sports category, but, I mean, it's super cheap. As I said, it's only $400,000, and especially after what I just did to the car, it's probably worth about $10. But either way, I would highly recommend to pick up the 770 if you haven't already, as it's a really good car to add to your collection, and it's just a really fun car to drive. After the Dubachi 770, we arrive at the Ocelot Lynx, one of the most expensive sports cars that has been in the game for many years. It was added in the Cunning Stunts update, and it's just crazy to me how this vehicle was $1.7 million when it came out, especially because there's really nothing unique about its handling. I mean, the car sounds amazing, I will say, but apart from that, it doesn't handle very well, neither does it have an incredible top speed. What I will say is that it has two very cool liveries going for it, and I do have to say, I think it's one of the coolest looking sports cars. So I'm a big fan of the car, it's just a ridiculously expensive price tag. So at 40% off, you can get it $1 million this week. I would say that it's worth it if you're a car collector. If you're not, then don't waste your money on it, because, as I said, there's nothing really that special about it. It's just a really cool looking car, and again, if you like collecting vehicles, then this is the week to do so. Now we arrive at the 30% off discounts, being the Dinka RT3000 and Ruiner ZZ8. We'll start off with the Dinka. This is a pretty dinky car. There's not much special about it on top speed or performance, which is kind of a trend with all the discounted vehicles this week, but it's a cool car. It's a JDM, it's got a lot of customization going for it, and I'm actually a big fan of it. It's obviously based off of a Mazda, so it's got the big ol' Wankel engine, which you can hear while driving the car, and yeah, it's just a fun vehicle to customize. So if you are a fan of Japanese cars and you're a big fan of customization, then I would highly recommend to pick it up, as it's only $1 million this week from its normal 1.7. So yeah, pretty decent car overall, especially on the discount it has going for it. So yeah, as I said, nothing really crazy, but another car to add to your collection. And to finish off the discounts, we have the Ruiner ZZ8. Once again, not a very spectacular car on performance, but also a pretty cool car on customization. I've never been the biggest fan of this era when it comes to, I think this is the Firebird. It's a cool car, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, I really think the back of this vehicle is incredibly ugly. It might be also that the spoiler is like 2 times larger than the vehicle's back, but I don't know, it's not my favorite looking vehicle when it comes to the muscles class. It does actually have pretty decent handling though, I will say. It's kind of surprising, but yeah, very good handling when it comes to the muscles category, which makes it quite enjoyable to drive. It has a great sounding engine, and as long as you kit it out properly, it actually looks pretty dang nice. This vehicle is normally $1.3 million. This week you can get it for $800,000, which is actually a pretty decent discount. So at the end of the day, it's a good muscle car, nothing crazy about it, but it's pretty cheap. So if you want to pick it up, then I'd recommend to do so. Oh, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, this week's discounts and news for Grand Theft Auto Online. As I said, when it comes to the Cayo Perico heist, I will keep you guys updated. Rockstar will most likely have news tomorrow on their newswire about what's exactly happening to the heist. So if information changes, or maybe what I'm saying here is a little bit off from what's actually happening, I'll be letting you know in the future. But it's always nice to have a heads up. Maybe you want to start grinding the heist a little bit before it actually does end up happening. I don't know. But hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, you know what to do, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.